Hey friends, oh my gosh, I'm blinded by the light. It's so beautiful. I had to come outside to record this last video of From the Ashes. Tonight we are talking about permission granted, permission, you and the magical universe. This is week 4 of the series that we've been moving through. This series started here in YouTube and Instagram land 4 weeks ago at the new moon. It was the Pisces new moon, and we've since moved through the Virgo full moon, and here we are. The moon is in Sagittarius tonight as I record this, it's disseminating, it is waning, and it is getting ready for, oh my goodness, the most amazing new beginnings. Aries season. We are going to have the Aries equinox next week, followed by the Aries new moon. And get this, there's not one Aries new moon in this month. There's going to be 2. So new beginnings multiplied, because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Just new and beautiful beginnings coming. But first, let's have a sweet little ending to this series called From the Ashes. And tonight, again, if I haven't already said it, maybe I just did, it is permission, you and the magical universe. You have permission to just sit outside and bask in the sun and watch your animals go crazy. So thank you for being here. It's crazy that here we are. It is March 15th, 16th, somewhere in there, March 15th as I'm recording this. And 3 years ago, do you remember where you were 3 years ago today? Or perhaps you might remember 3 years ago tomorrow, because for me and most people in the United States, March 16th was the first day that school was canceled, at least here in the state of Idaho and on the West Coast. School was canceled to what most of us thought was just going to be, a couple weeks, a little vacation. I think my friends and I actually called it Corona-cation. We were very excited about it. But on the second day, it was, I remember it was St. Patrick's Day, because that is an important day in, I used to live in the city of Dublin, and it was a big celebration, and we always gathered and had friends over on St. Patrick's Day. But this St. Patrick's Day of 2020, I had to go and sign divorce papers. And it was just a notification that I had been served with a divorce. And so immediately within the week, everything in my life changed, from my profession being dramatically altered. I didn't know to what extent yet, to my marriage ending, my 20-year marriage ending, the reality of splitting up a family in between 2 homes. Where were we going to go? What was that going to look like? The journey ahead was long and daunting. And what I have learned in the last 3 years is what I'm sharing here on From the Ashes, because my life, it was just the beginning of a series of events that I've outlined in previous classes here that just broke everything down, stripped everything away so that I could rebuild this new life. And so here I am 3 years later in this new home with this new dog, anticipating what is coming my way as I walk away from my profession, my lifelong career, and begin this new enterprise, this new adventure with Let Love Rise, and leading classes and workshops and retreats and who knows what else. I'm just following my bliss, which was week 2. Week 3 was Follow Your Bliss. Actually, that was last week. So the beginning question I have is, did you treat yourself to something, some little indulgence over the last week, something from your enchantment list? So let's just do a quick review. We started with vision, putting yourself in your picture. So I will be the first to admit that I have yet to print a picture. All my pictures are still digital. I've yet to print a picture. Jasper, you cannot sit on my lap right now, buddy. I don't think that's gonna work. He's like, yeah, I can. Watch me. Learning. I'm still learning on boundaries. There he is. There's Jasper, everybody. I have yet to print a picture of myself to put it in my vision board. I'm going to do it. I've said it here. I'm going to do it. But it was vision, putting yourself in the picture. Like, what is your biggest dream for yourself? What is it that you want? And literally find a picture of yourself doing something joyful and put it in a space where you can see it. And the picture that I would like to print is the picture that is on Let Love Rise. It was a beautiful moment. It was a retreat that I had with my friends in the mountains, the Santa Cruz Mountains, on this beautifully rainy, stormy weekend in December. And just the joy of discovering that our backyard had a tree house and redwood trees, and it was just spectacular. So that's my picture. So we started there, then we examined our fear. The things that hold us back is our fear, and our fear just always wants to take hold of us and keep us safe. It comes from a loving place, but as we grow up and we move into the fullest expressions of ourselves, sometimes we have to realize that fear is not serving us anymore. It needs to take the back seat. So week 2 is called Fear, Get in the Back Seat, and that is when I talked about my leap of faith to resign from public education. And then last week we talked about following your bliss, enchantment, and following your bliss, and making a list, writing a letter to ourselves of all the things that we love to do. And so the question is, did you do something on your list? Did you do something from that list last week? I had mentioned for myself, I just love, one of the things that I love is having popcorn and a glass of wine for dinner when it is just me, myself as a single woman. Sometimes I don't feel like cooking a full meal, and I love popcorn. And so I do that. It could be silly and simple like that, or it could be going to a favorite nursery, or, anything that fills you up, going to a movie by yourself, just doing something that brings you joy. And then today we're going to wrap things up with permission and permission granted. In my little makeshift office, aka my bedroom, I have this card that I bought for myself, and it's got my beautiful blue butterfly on it and angel wings. And what it says is, let me just make sure I wrote down the words exactly since I'm not right there. It says, permission granted to dream bigger and let your spirit soar. I'm pretty sure that there is on Let Love Rise, on my blog, the written blog, a post on called Permission Granted. I didn't reread that this morning or this afternoon, but that might be worth checking out. But that is where you can see the picture of the postcard that I am referring to. Just taking in this moment. Yes. So, and then before I get to our kind of like a little backstory and the permission slip that I'd like us to all write today, the song is another song from Fia's Made of Stars album, and it's called AnJourney Unfolding. And I've listened to this several times as one of the things that, for me, I am still casting a vision around is, finding that person, that spiritual partner that I will share my life with. And something's happening. There's a helicopter in the sky. As we pause just briefly for this helicopter to fly over and send some angels up, because that's often a medical prayers. AnJourney Unfolding, the song, I've listened to it a couple of times, and it seems to be, and I have no idea, I'm not Fia, but I love this album so much. I've been listening to it nonstop. And is it something that she's singing to the person that she's like maybe starting a relationship with, or is she singing it to her tribe, the people that she wants to surround herself and support herself with? Or is she singing it to herself, like her truest essence, the self that we find when we go into our land of enchantment? Something for you to meditate on, but the journey unfolding really talks about, are you in it for the long haul? Not just the highs, but the lows. Because there are lows in the journey, and Lord knows that my last 3 years has been a little bit unbalanced. I would say more towards the lows than the highs. But I remember my student Calvin, who I just had a lovely relationship with, and he had given his first kind of talk to students after a very difficult time in his life. And I remember his dad was the first one who really explained to me the butterfly. And that has been a symbol of mine. But the butterfly, he was just talking about, his son's journey and his son's life, and that the time that is spent in the cocoon is the time where we strengthen our wings, where we get the strength to emerge and to be able to fly. If anybody were to pry open a cocoon too early, the butterfly would emerge weak and it would ultimately die. And so those dark times, those hard moments in our life, the times where we're like, oh, this isn't working, I want to give up, I just want to fast forward, I want to get through this. Trust me, I tried to manifest a fast forward button, a remote control, can I ba-doop, ba-doop, ba-doop? But then I would have to remind myself that no, this is the journey, this is the process. You need to sit in this so that you, one, work through this pain, that you recognize it, that you know how to respond to it, and that you will come out on the other side stronger, victorious, and you will have wings that will take you somewhere beautiful, wherever you want to go. So despite the hard 3 years, here I am. I'm piecing my life back together, and I'm doing it in a whole different way. And all the twists and the turns of my journey have led me to meet some of the most amazing people that have introduced me to some of the most beautiful thinkers and experiences that are just opening my eyes to what is possible when I let go, when I surrender the outcome, when I surrender the control and the need to be in charge, and just trust and follow my bliss, follow the things that light me up and my joy, because life is short, it is precious, and it is our responsibility, I believe, to return to the divine creator from which we came, to enjoy everything that we have been given. So permission granted. Let's talk about that. I was just hearing from a dear friend of mine who is giving herself permission to eat pasta. I mean, come on, yes, that seems so silly, but there are many of us who are very disciplined and concerned about, our weight or how our body responds to things, and we deny ourselves, or we don't think that, pasta is good for us. But she was talking about making angel-haired pasta with lemon, Parmesan, and shrimp, and I'm just like, yes, that's exactly it. It's those little things. It's me sitting in my backyard, even though it's still chilly out, just sitting here with the sun that is clouded up for the moment, but I'm just having this moment with this guy and loving it. So the letter, the writing exercise as you're rewriting your story for tonight is a permission slip, not a letter, but a permission slip from the office of the principal. So what I thought I would do to wrap up this series is read you the letter that I wrote back in 2020 when I was first introduced to this exercise, again by Elizabeth Gilbert, author of Eat, Pray, Love, and many other fantastic stories. Why can I not remember the name of the one in the 1920s with the girls? It's okay. It'll come to me as soon as I stop recording. But I thought I would read what I wrote in 2020. And then you get a double reading tonight. Follow it up with what I wrote this morning that I have not read back to myself yet, because I have this early morning writing practice that I enjoy. So here we go. So this is from November of 2020. And your letter should start off as such. From the office of the principal, to whom it may concern. Okay, so I'm just going to say that one more time. From the office of the principal, to whom it may concern. Here we go. From the office of the principal, to whom it may concern. Andrea Blythe has my permission to make decisions that she feels good about without concern for others' thoughts about these decisions. She has my permission to live her own life according to her heart and soul. She has my permission to be mama bear for her kids. She has my permission to encourage them and sit next to them when they fail, holding them in a space of love that is free of judgment. She has my permission to spend time alone, even when she's got her kids at home. She has my permission to put her needs first. She has my permission to not respond to emails, texts, or phone calls where her character or decisions are judged. She has my permission to trust herself and to let go of trying to control the outcome. She has my permission to laugh, to lighten up on lesson plans, and to enjoy the moment some more. She has my permission to get ice cream after guitar lessons tonight. She has my permission to stop worrying about the kids. Then you're going to end your letter this way. These permissions are non-negotiable and non-transferable. Sincerely, the office of the principal. Pretty interesting to see some of the things I gave myself permission about 3 years ago. And I'm lightening up on lesson plans, that's for sure. And on my vision board, where I do want to put that picture of myself, I have the words lighten up and belly laughs. So you can see that some of these things I've been working on and through, and I'm still reminding myself about. Just because I gave myself permission to do these things doesn't mean that boom, it's done. It is a process, and it starts with one pasta bowl at a time, perhaps, or bowl of popcorn and glass of wine. Okay, so this morning, one more letter for you guys, and then we'll wrap things up from the office of the principal, to whom it may concern. Andrea Blythe has my permission to let her freak flag fly. Try saying that fast. To let her freak flag fly. She has my permission to pursue her dream, even or especially if others think it's crazy and irrational. She has my permission to seek joy, to listen to, loud. Can't even read my morning writing. To loud live music, to dance in her kitchen with her bright colors and bold patterns. Andrea Blythe has my permission to take her life less seriously and lead and live more joyously. Andrea Blythe has my permission to lay in bed on Saturday mornings to daydream. She has my permission to invest in herself, her business, her home, and her dream. Andrea Blythe has my permission to spread her wings and fly. She has my permission to be wildly, courageously authentic and kind. Andrea Blythe has permission to live the life of her dreams and to invite others to join her in that journey. Andrea has my permission to skip school or work from time to time for a mental health day. Andrea has my permission to light scented candles every day of the week and fill her home with love and light. Andrea Blythe has my permission to go forth, make lots of money, give freely, help others, and go on with being her badass self that her soul is calling her to be. These permissions are non-negotiable and non-transferable. So there you go. There's some dreams of mine, some permissions that I'm granting myself. My permissions are definitely of the bigger, more esoteric, a little bit more abstract in nature versus, the letter to enchantment was very tangible. I love it when we write, like I love it when we eat popcorn. I love it when we dance. I love it when we go to a live concert. I love it when we snuggle up on the couch with our kids. I love it when we go to the dog park with that crazy little guy. I love it when so those are very specific actions, and permission can be very specific. Like you have your permission to wear yoga pants to work tomorrow, whatever it is that you feel like you need permission. You have your permission to have time alone. And then especially if you are in a household where there are lots of other people whose energies you're balancing or perhaps not managing, you know what I mean, are around, perhaps you want to consider putting this on your refrigerator or somewhere, or sharing it with your family, letting them know like some of the things that you are granting yourself permission, or that the principal is granting you permission for, and let them know that these things matter to you, and hopefully they would be able to create a space for you to to support you with that permission. So if there's something that you need permission to do, please take 5-7 minutes, write this out, let it be free form. Do not think, let it just flow. Just let it come out naturally. This is not a time to edit yourself. Just see what rises from there, and go back and reread it from time to time. And I really hope that this 4-part series has helped you to recognize a dream that you have for yourself, something that you hold for yourself, that you want to be bold and speak loudly into the universe, that you want to fearlessly say, this is my year, this is my time, this is my moment, and I'm going to pursue this because I don't, like Fia sings, I do not want to die with a song inside my heart. Tune in with your joy. Tune in with that enchantment. What are the things that make you uniquely you? We all share the same fears. Our enchantment, our joys, our passions are unique to us. Follow that. Listen to that. Let that be your guide. And then the permission has been granted. The universe is waiting for you to step into the life that you are born to live. And so I hope that I will cross paths with you face to face real soon. I am going to be going a little quiet for a little bit and pulling within and do my level 2 of training with infinite possibilities. And we'll be coming back this late spring and summer with some in-person, yay, some in-person workshops, classes, and retreats are going to be happening. So just, you can find all information on letloverise.com. There's the YouTube channel. I'll continue to do bi-monthly moon videos, new moon and full moon. Lots of great energy coming at us. A lot of transformational energy coming towards us in this beautiful month of March 2023. So from my heart to yours, thank you so much for letting me share some of my first thoughts on emerging from my cocoon, on rising from the ashes, the spirit of the phoenix that has been living within me. It feels good to let her soar. By the way, my phoenix's name is V-Ray, and V-Ray, the V stands for Venus, and Venus is moving into my home sign of Taurus real soon. So I am just feeling like, the timing is beautiful and perfect, and I am excited to see what the universe is going to bring my way and how I can help support you on your journeys. Please reach out to me with any questions that you might have, any comments, any things that you're granting yourself permission to do. And I just wish you a most beautiful end of this Pisces sun season, and get ready. Get ready for your new beginnings. Start, if you haven't yet started dreaming big enough, now's the time. Dream big, and I will see you soon. Either in person, hopefully in person, or, right here. Right, Jasper? Yeah. Have anything else to say, buddy? Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Namaste.